Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Do You Belong podcast, a talk about life, philosophy, and culture between best friends who are trying to figure out the age old question of where do I belong. Welcome back. I'm Oscar, and in this episode, we welcome one of my closest friends, Sarka, to the podcast to talk about her experiences with multiculturalism as a Czech Italian and our thoughts on living away from home. In my typical fashion, I forgot to record the first few minutes of this episode, and you can hear the tension around the fifth minute when I realized the red button is actually not on. So the first 5 minutes are unfortunately just with no video. But anyways, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you won't hear the difference. Anyways, don't forget to check out our Instagram, Do You Belong, spelled with an actual letter U. And and there you can see short form content and any updates that we post. Alright, let's get into it. Today I'm joined by my dear friend, Sarka, that I've known for nearly a decade now. Would you believe that? Sarka and I met...
Scary to hear that.
Yes, indeed. It's we're getting old. We met in high school back in 2012, 2013, I think. And yeah, ever since then, we've just been very close friends, and we've just been inseparable since then, I would say. And Sarka studies, as I said before, the art of languages, specifically
Mhm.
Spanish, Espanol, in the Czech
Sí,
Republic.
sí.
And yeah, Sarka has agreed to do this podcast with me today, but I,
I've been forced.
yeah, well, I mean, not far
No,
from
I'm
that.
kidding. I'm kidding. It's a lovely thing to do for my friend, and even for me. I mean, it's scary, but somehow we'll manage. I hope.
Yeah, and for all the listeners as well, I think they would be very interested to hear what you have to say about
Hmm.
many of the topics we have to talk about today. And as I said before, everybody has something to say, and that's exactly why we do this podcast to hear people's opinions and voices, even though they think it's something that is uh, not special, let's say. But there's always something special about it, and that's why we want to hear it, and that's why we're doing this today. And I just want to say a big thank you for joining, because I know that English is not something that you use on a daily basis, and you agreed to do this in English. And usually we speak in Czech, so this is kind of weird for both of us. But
Yes.
I believe that this is like a big favor that you're doing for me, and yeah, you don't feel very comfortable with this, but I assure you it will be all right, and your English is very good. So
Hope so. I hope so. Because it's not like a thing I'm active right now. So I mean, it's weird, but I hope I won't be like it won't be painful to hear or
nah,
something.
I assure you it's not painful. Um, yeah, so let's start off. How are you doing? I mean, we haven't talked in quite a bit since the last time we met. So
Yes.
anything
Yes.
anything exciting that you have in your life?
Not really. Like nothing's has changed, or I hope I'll finish my studies in a month. So yeah, it's getting real close, and I'm stressed.
So
But
so you're writing your
nothing.
thesis, right?
I finished, and I hope I'll know the results or like the grades I'll be having. So for now, I know nothing, and that's stressful. But
Yeah, indeed.
I hope it will be good, or at least normal, not bad.
It's a weird period where you finish your work, your assignment, your exam, your thesis, and you are in between, kind of knowing the result and being relieved that you finished it. It's like,
Yeah, it's like pending there, but you know nothing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
But at the same time, you finished, so you're happy you finished. But at the same time, you're still thinking about what could happen, right?
yeah, yeah,
So yeah. But I wish you all the best luck, and I hope it ends well. And I'm sure it was great because I saw it, and yeah, it was in Spanish, but
yeah.
It was in Spanish, but
Yeah.
I could see the quality of the work even despite that.
Oh, thanks. I
Um,
hope even in the like things I wrote there and even I don't know, the knowledge I've put there, it's at least good, not just visually. So
no, I the you wrote a thesis on a book review, right? Kind of in a way. You were like analyzing a book,
it should be a book analysis. I'm not a specialist in it, but
and that book was
tried.
Psycho.
Oh, you finished it?
I did
You
not
read
I
it?
did not read it, but like the one you were talking about this, that book was like crazy.
Hmm. I like these things. I like crazy
I'm not trying
things.
to
I
point
like to think
fingers,
about.
but you might be a bit psycho. No, I'm kidding.
Ah, that's
Nah,
a secret.
nobody knows.
If you know me or the listeners, yeah, I'm not well in there
Oh
in
god.
here, but no, but I mean it's okay. I like psycho literature, even movies. Yeah, that's it. I like to think about things. I like horror movies, even
Hmm.
not the superficial ones with much blood and stuff, but the things that are maybe deep, have a deeper meaning. So
Okay, nice,
like to
nice.
think about, to reflect about things.
Um, all right, so you're kind of waiting for your results, but life is good otherwise.
Normal. It's summer here in the Czech Republic. Kind of a weird summer, but yeah,
Yeah,
still.
it's been it's been a weird summer here as well. I feel like they've been talking about how it's crazy hot everywhere, but
Yes.
it's super cold here. Like it's like 20
Really.
degrees. Yeah, it's like 16 yesterday or something. Constantly
Yeah, even
raining. Yeah,
here.
I don't know.
Here.
I'm t
Like the mornings are cold, then during the day it's really hot, or like you feel like humidity everywhere. It's weird.
Yeah,
I don't like this. I like the hot, like Italian summer, but not the one they have right now, like 45 degrees and even more. So
it is.
that's like close to hell. So
There's like fires going on, right, as well, or something
yes, yes. I think in Sicily or somewhere. Yes,
crazy stuff. Um,
pretty sad.
all right, so okay, all right, so you're doing well. I'm glad. And I I wanted you on this podcast to not only because you're a very close friend of mine, but also I feel like we share a lot of commonalities in many aspects, such as because you're not so you're half Italian and half Czech.
Hmm.
So you were born in Italy, I believe, and you moved to.
No, Oscar, you're such a close friend and you still don't know this.
Okay, so
Or
tell us
can't
a bit
remember.
of your backstory then.
So basically, yes, I'm half Czech, half Italian. My father's Italian, my mom's Czech. And I was born in Brno. I also live now in Brno, but we've lived there for like 7, 8 years.
Hmm.
But we did like a few months there and a few months here in the Czech Republic. So it wasn't like I wasn't 100% in one place. So it was a weird thing, and some people think it's weird, or some people just think it's crazy for a kid to live like this.
Hmm.
But I think that now that I'm a grown person, I am very grateful for that, because it may appear stressful, and it was stressful in some moments, but I'm grateful. I mean, I know two languages just for free. I've learned it. I don't even know how. So it's I think it's pretty cool. It's like magic.
So you were born in the Czech Republic, and then you moved around between Italy and
Mhm.
Czech Republic, and so you went to, but you had to go to school somewhere, right?
Yes, even like kindergarten.
So you went
So I
to
have both experiences.
so you went to kindergarten both in Czech Republic and in Italy, and you went
Exactly.
to school both in Italy and the Czech Republic.
Hmm.
Okay, that's something I actually wasn't sure about. That's crazy. Like for a
Yes,
kid,
it is.
to experience. For me, kindergarten is a small part of my life, right? And you would usually, I don't know how many years is kindergarten, like a year or two.
Actually, I think I don't remember how it was in Italy. Not sure about that, but in the Czech Republic, you go from 3, 4 years, I think.
3, 4 years.
So
Wow. Okay.
five, like you go. No, that's not. I'm not sure. Here I'm pretty lost. Or 3 years, you go
Yeah.
to kindergarten and like spend 2 years there, and then you go like from 6 years you go to school, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
five,
Yeah.
six.
Yeah.
So now I'm lost a bit.
But it's
When do we
still.
put children in kindergarten?
I've no idea. But before we have children, we should probably know that.
Oh, yeah.
But still, it must be very confusing for a kid to go from one system to another in such a short period of time. Like I would say maximum it's like 3 years for kindergarten, right? Some parents want their children to be homeschooled, right? Crazy
Mhm.
people, anti-vax people. Anyways, like that happens, but usually in one environment. Like, but if you move around even during kindergarten, that could have a big impact on the child, right? On you as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly. And I remember specifically things like I don't know if it's because it was two different, like yeah, different, pretty different in many aspects.
Mm.
So I have a lot of memories, I would say, pretty vivid memories, and the differences, and even the feelings I had, like when I was for, I don't know, 3 months there, and then you move and have to switch your brain to
Yeah.
the other language and the other system. So it's pretty interesting.
Um, did you ever have? Did you ever ask your parents why they did this? Was it just because
Mm,
your dad worked in Italy or lived in Italy, or what was the reason behind this moving
I
around?
think, yeah, and in some moment I've asked myself and even them the question, but I'm not sure as a child if I was wondering about these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew my mom could work from home because she also studied in the field of languages. So she
Mm.
studied Italian and French, so she could work from home and she translated things. So her office was in our apartment. So I thought it was normal to have my mom at home, but it wasn't. So I know now that it's not a common thing, or now maybe after COVID it is, but it wasn't previously.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember my mom in pajamas like the whole the whole day working there, but I thought it was normal, you know.
Yeah.
And my dad couldn't do that if he would live in the Czech Republic. So we stayed there most of the time, and that's how we lived there. And
So
I don't
it
know.
was because of family and your dad's work
Yes,
and.
yes, yes.
Mm.
I thought it was normal, you know, nothing like weird about it. I'm just saying, for me, it was normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as kids, we don't really know what's happening, right?
Hmm.
We just accept what's given
You
to
don't
us.
think about this.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah, family things, and my mother's career made that possible to be there. So,
okay, nice. And and you know, like from my side, I guess for me the cultural differences were quite big because I'm my family is from like from Asia, so like the Eastern culture, and the cultural differences between the Eastern and the Western is quite visible, like very noticeable, you would say. A lot of big fundamental like differences in values and beliefs and stuff like that. So for me, it was very evident, the cultural differences. But I wonder, some could say that Italy and Czech Republic are not that. I guess geographically they're not that far away. That's one, but also culturally that
definitely.
might not be that different. Do you agree with this this kind of a look at this? Like, what are the cultural differences that you sensed when you were younger, or you still see today, between Italian and Czech cultures?
As a kid, no idea about that. I wasn't even thinking about that. I felt different, of course. Um, yeah, I'm telling you, like two whole different languages. One of them, the Czech language, Slavic one, the Italian, like Roman or Romance. I'm
Romance,
not
yeah.
sure how to Romance language. Grammar, absolute different things.
Mm.
Uh, so in this, yes, even cultural, like people, the mentality is a different thing. Or you see the difference, but I mean, it's still Europe. I don't know. Now, people are kind of like similar, all of us. Mm, I don't want to say that we're all the same, but you know how I think, like
It's
my
it's it's
opinion on
yeah.
that. Like you don't feel, for example, the cultural difference between, for example, me as an European girl and you being an Asian and even raised as an Asian boy in a family. So you have different, for example, I don't know, food, for example.
Mm.
You have different, uh, I don't know, everything. Everything
Traditions,
is a bit.
beliefs, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Different perspective on life. But
imagine even religion. If I would be, so I'm not Catholic. Italian people can be pretty crazy Catholic,
mhm,
and have the strong belief in God and stuff, but I'm not,
mhm.
which I'm grateful for now. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how it affects your whole life, and I'm glad I'm not like like this crazy passionate about my faith.
Mhm. So so you- so
So that's
so you would say that there are some there's some a lot of similarities between Czech and Italian cultures.
I would say it's not that drastic, like the difference, but of course there is like the cuisine is different. Like you know how we
Mhm.
eat in the Czech Republic. It's not a healthy, not healthy food, like full of fats and yeah. But I like both of them. But of course, my heart still leans more into
Yeah.
Italian cuisine. Yeah, I
What is
mean,
mm,
even though if you're not Italian, you love pizza and pasta.
yeah,
So
of course. I mean, Italian culture. I mean, that's why I asked, right? So, like when I think of Czech culture, it's it's rich.
something. It's
It's
definitely something.
it's rich. I wouldn't say it's like horrible. I would say the Dutch culture is like much worse. I did not say that. But I feel like Czech culture. There's a lot of things. A lot of unique things about us, and a lot of traditions that are still alive. But Italian culture is on a different level. I mean, Italian culture
Yeah,
is
it's much stronger. Like it's everywhere in America,
yeah.
in Asia, everywhere. I
So
think.
that's why I asked this question, right? Like how maybe not, maybe I'm not asking this question like about like general culture, or like an overview thing. Maybe I'm asking this question more about you, and it's because you did say that you did feel different, right? So maybe my question is, how did you feel different, and how does that kind of tie to culture, and how you felt Italian or Czech?
For me now, this is pretty easy, but even as I say it like loud, it's hard to explain.
Mm,
Now I like for myself, I understood that I'm not gonna be 100% pure Czech or pure Italian when I live in the Czech Republic or when I live in Italy. So for me, the difference is, for example, when I'm surrounded by Czech people, my friends here in the Czech Republic. I live here. Now I'm living here for such a long time. So I still feel different. Like, I wouldn't say I'm 100% Czech in everything I do, in the way I live, in the way my mind is set, in the way I think. Like, it's bad to say it like this, but even though you know it's bad and our society think you shouldn't compare yourself to others,
Mm.
you'll think about it, and I feel pretty different in some aspects. Some people say I'm too much or too direct to people, even though sometimes they say it's even mean. But I mean, no, it's not. I'll just be honest with you. When there's something I don't like, why should I waste time and like not saying that and feel uncomfortable? So
Mm.
in this, they say, "Oh wow, you're such an Italian, like full of I don't know, temper, or how do you say that?"
Oh yeah, yeah. The Italian. Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, it's normal. It's not an Italian thing. I know so many people like that are not Italian or not Spanish or
Yeah.
from these loud cultures uh, that are not afraid to be direct. But yes, many people are saying this to me
So
and
some
observe.
sometimes I wonder. may- Sometimes I wonder if it's possible for us to, if maybe what we're doing is associating our individual qualities with a certain culture just because we come from there. Like there's a lot of people
Yeah,
who are
yeah,
direct and honest who are Czech, for example. But just because you are half
exactly.
Italian, then they say, "Oh, you're so Italian," you know?
Exactly. Or when, I don't know, for example, when my outfit's really good, for
Mm.
example, like I'm not in sweatpants and a sweatshirt or something, and they say, "Oh, you look so good. Yeah, you have the Italian taste. I see it." No, bitch, it's my taste.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. But
it's
but
not because I'm half Italian.
but there is some merit to it, right? There has to be something about it that people say that. Because I mean, it is true that Italians do have a good fashion sense. If you go to Milan, it's like a
Oh, of course,
catwalk,
of course.
in public.
I mean, I'm not that into high fashion brands, but of course, I think like my mom in this raised me pretty good. Like she told me, "Oh no, 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 don't wear this. You would look like a crazy girl in such a skirt." Or for example, like I know that some girls are not afraid to show much things. So yeah, in this, in this, I was raised in a good way, but I think it's more my mom's merit, not like we have taste because we're half Italian or we lived in Italy or we,
Okay.
I don't know, read magazines and observe stuff there now.
Well, that's so interesting because we have been having this talk about different cultures and how you feel different and stuff, and in the end, now we're saying that it has nothing to do with where we come from, or maybe partially at least. It's just how we are. But then my question again still stands: How did you feel different then?
Mm,
And you can say
still,
I don't,
still,
yeah.
still, yes. Like the major thing is I don't know because I don't know if how to explain it like more clearly or something. But when you're in that country, for example, for me, is when I feel the most different because in Italy I feel like I'm more like a quiet, shy girl. So I'm like in my mind it's like, oh shit, Sarka, you're so Czech. Like you're
Hmm.
not Italian, that Italian how you think you were, because in the Czech Republic they say, oh, you're such a loud and like
Yeah.
super like when I come to some places there's life and so on, blah blah blah, these things that they tell me. But then I go to Italy and now I'm the shy one there, so it's weird, you
Always,
know.
always the odd one out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the difference I feel. Or for example, when I was a kid, they always thought, yeah, Sarka is definitely Czech because she's gonna like I would be the first kid to be sleepy somewhere because the kids there, they don't care if it's like 10 or like midnight. They would be full of energy, and I was like, it's 7, it's time to go to
Yeah,
sleep,
yeah.
mom. Let's go. I'm really tired, so yeah, that would be my Czech thing. I like to sleep a lot, not like Italian kids.
Well, sleep early, I think, is the main thing here. Because like Mediterranean people, they just sleep at like really at odd hours. They eat at odd hours as well. Like it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like yeah, yeah. I don't know. So it's always in relation to the culture that we see our own differences, I think.
Hmm.
And yeah, okay. I kind of I understand that your perspective now because um
I
I
think you also felt that way, right? When
yes,
because
yes.
you're not so often in China, but when you travel there, you feel like you've come home, but still you feel different because you weren't just raised there
Well, for me, it
such a
was
long
never really
time.
home in the first place. You know, it's for me it was more like an idea of home. You know, idea of the homeland in a way, but it was never really home. Because
You
because
never like thought of it of or called it home for you
I
when
thought of
you
it
went
as
there?
I thought of it as a cultural home, as a cultural homeland, or something that my ancestors were part of. But
Right.
I never considered it home for me. Maybe in the future, if I move there and I live there, maybe then yes. Um, but because I never had that experience, to of living there as an independent person, and so that's why maybe. But I do feel like we see how different we are once we see ourselves in relation to other people in the culture. And yeah, as you said, like comparing yourself with others is not really good, but it is something that we do naturally. And I believe that we see those differences more when we see ourselves, when we kind of try to put ourselves in, you know ask ourselves where we belong in the community, and then you see how different you are from a lot of the other people. There's
Mhm.
different people, but cultures are defined by the fact that certain groups of people have the same values and same beliefs, or similar values and similar beliefs, and you don't really belong into one specific group because you're kind of a not mismatch, like a mix of a lot of different things, and you don't
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
right? So we're not saying everybody is the same in one culture, but we're saying there's certain characteristics, and maybe we have more, or yeah, we have more characteristics. Or maybe we
I
don't
feel
have
like
defined characteristics. Yeah.
yeah, you said it like perfectly, and I feel like these people, or the group of people where you start, for example, to feel like different in culture, I feel like they are exactly like a mirror. Like you see yourself, your reflection in it, or
Mm.
maybe that's like a big metaphor or something, but for some it may be stupid. But thanks for like these people, you see it and you are able to think about it and you are able to see these differences.
Yeah.
So maybe for some people this could be like a good thing to think about. Like, yeah, maybe they are like I'm a reflection of something
Yeah.
that they do, and I'm able to see it and even to think about or to see that I'm different and to see that they are different.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It begs the question of hobbies versus career, and I feel like a lot of the times we forget about the
For me,
things
it
we
was
love to do.
always hard to balance. For me, that's the thing I hate the most, that I don't know how to balance these things because it's important in
Hmm.
life.
I mean, why not make the job your hobby, right?
Yeah.
That
But
would
that's
be
also
that would be
hard. Like,
great, but
not
that's yeah, exactly. That's hard, very hard.
it's not possible for everyone, or for, yeah, or if you want to be really, really good at, I don't know, for example, you may have talent for something, you can be the best in it, but then there's the aspect of, will this make money for me? You know, that you have to combine so many things. It's
But
hard.
wouldn't
Then
you?
for
Sorry.
no,
Getting
just
in.
ask, just ask.
No, I was wondering, like, wouldn't you think that if you really loved something and you really did it well and you would become one of the best people in doing it, wouldn't that money just come because you are doing something very well in the economy that we live in now?
I think, I mean, yeah, it should work that way, right? But I think that now that so many people have the freedom of doing everything they want, it's pretty hard to be original in some aspects. I mean, how uh, it's pretty bad to say, but how am I supposed to be original in dancing? And how am I supposed to be the best? And how am I supposed to, like, put that to the world and to gain attention from some people? You know, it's hard. It's hard because you have so many good dancers.
Yeah, I mean,
Oof,
it was never meant to be easy in the first place.
of
I
course,
think,
of course. It's pretty hard. You have to work so hard on this, and that's a different level, or that's a different discipline
but it
you
then
have to have in life.
it begs the question. I mean, if you love something, and it it doesn't even have to matter if you love it or not. Just in any aspect or field in life, you got to work hard, right? And if you
Mm.
don't work hard, then you're not gonna be special. You're not gonna be original. You're not gonna create anything new, right? So
Yeah.
it's always like that. I mean, what I think is if you love something and you feel like you're not doing that in your career, there's always a choice you make where you can say that your career will be the thing you love. And I think we're just scared to do that because it's hard. We're going for the safe option.
Yes, we're going for the safe option that that is in our comfort zone, I think.
Know a little bit and make some money. But if you you know, I had this thought a few the past few days, and if you really love something, you should go for it. Because if you love it, then you will work hard automatically. You will want to achieve something.
Yeah.
And you will become good at it. Because it's all about being an expert, you know? Like, it's
Yeah.
good to know a lot of things, but it's also good to know something very well. And
Also, you
yeah,
have to trust in yourself to very, like, have faith in what you're doing, and
yeah.
that's also a thing, like confidence, to have confidence.
But doesn't confidence come with doing it? The more you do it,
It
once
depends.
you
It
start doing,
depends because it depends on the field. Like if it's a smaller field that you know, you can be pretty good and pretty famous if you will be the one that evolves it somehow, or like gives it to the world and makes some changes. But when you want to be good at something that you know that is already like a field, I don't know, for example, if you remember the YouTuber era, like there were few YouTubers that were freaking big. They had numbers, they were good at it, and because it was new and because it wasn't like a thing that everyone is doing. But now if I would want to be a YouTuber, like what's the new thing I would be like?
yeah,
What's the originality? Where is it? Because previously it was new, so everyone would be in some sense original.
yeah.
But now it's even harder. So I think that in some like ranges it's more easy to gain fame and success. But in other, not that much.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But yeah, again, I don't think we were necessarily talking about fame and and money or success. I think all I was trying to say was if you're passionate about something and you feel like you cannot do it because it's not gonna make you money, maybe you're thinking about it the wrong way. Maybe if you love something, you will work hard for it, and if you work hard for something in this economy, we live in a good country. We live in a good in a developed region of the world where everybody can get by. I think there is a place for you. If you really love something, you will work hard for it, and it's better than
Of
just
course. But
than
this is true. This yeah, I think it would be relatable for anyone. Like if you would do a thing you love or just because you're good at something, you, example, recently I worked as a like I had a group of small kids and we had like a summer camp. They were dancing, we were like the teachers and
mm,
we had to look after them and stuff. I wouldn't even think about it being like my job, you know? For me, it was so natural that I wasn't even thinking about money or that like it was so good for me. I don't know, I enjoyed that much and I loved it, and that's what you're saying. So maybe that's it. That's the thing. Like it's so natural for you that you don't even think about money that comes after, you know?
yeah.
Because it's still a thing you love and that fills your heart or your emotions, that makes you complete. So maybe then the money is even like a extra reward after that, you know?
Yeah. But I'm not trying to be too like overly optimistic, and be like, oh my God, the life is just too short. Just do what you want. There's a lot of things.
But
It's very
true, it's
complicated.
true.
But I think that's why so many people are trying to find the balance, because it's so complicated. Because there's so many things that you need to take into account. You need to, if you have a family, it's not just about you and how you feel emotionally fulfilled. And I believe everybody should strive to be happy and be fulfilled in terms of career and life choices and stuff like that. But it is hard because you got to think about family and money and these things, because it is the system we live in, right? So
Mhm.
um yeah, I understand that maybe finding the balance isn't the easiest thing. So yeah.
It was never easy.
Sorry.
Not good at balancing. So if you want some, I don't know, if you want
Balancing advice.
a coach, just go and approach like for Oscar. Maybe
Nah,
he's a
nah,
better
no,
one
no, no,
for
no,
this.
not even. Maybe not even.
I'm the worst.
I, I think we're still young and we're still finding our way, and that's why we're doing this podcast, to kind of maneuver our way through life and see what we have done, reflect on what we have experienced. But I'm definitely gonna say this, that in 5 years, maybe even less, when we look back at these podcasts, we're gonna be laughing and saying maybe this is crazy.
I'm gonna definitely be laughing. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so that's the beauty of it, because we always change and there's always something that comes up, and we always learn. And now it's the prime time to do these things and have these discussions to really grow as people. All right, so let's do another segment. This is a segment I call Today's News on the podcast, where we
Okay.
find a piece of recent world news and ask our guests about their opinion. So, this is going to be a very, very serious segment. This is very,
Ooh.
very serious news. This is huge news, okay? So, as you know, um, the Barbie movie has released a week ago, or maybe a little bit more, and I believe we both went to see it already. So yeah, I thought this was a perfect time to maybe discuss what your thoughts on it were, and what your main takeaways were from the movie. And Spoiler alert for anyone listening or watching this. Now we're gonna talk about some stuff that will happen, and if you did not watch the movie, uh, maybe skip over this
Skip this
part.
part.
Yes, I'll put the time of when this part ends on the screen. But yes, what did you think about the movie?
Well, I can compare it with the Oppenheimer movie. So,
Oh no, don't say that because I haven't
uh,
watched it yet.
yeah, I'll just shut up. They're
I'll just
both
shut up.
they're both different movies, as I'm saying, like me being a Czech and Italian, this is like even the Barbie and the Oppenheimer thing, same thing. No, but haha. I'm not, no, it's exaggerating, but anyway, I enjoyed both movies,
Okay.
but I can tell which one I did enjoy more because I'm saying they're both poof, two other words. So
But what did you think?
yeah,
Well,
but
0 out of 10. What would you give Barbie?
poof,
Was it
the
what you
rating.
expected?
It surprised me in some aspects even. I thought because they say, or I think the movie is classified as a comedy. I
Yeah,
don't
for
know
sure. I mean,
now,
I
but
was
they say
laughing the
it's
whole way.
a comedy. So the first moments, I laughed a lot because, for example, the weird Barbie, or I don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah.
she was. I had so many of weird Barbies, or are in my basement, and I felt
In your
pretty
in your
sad about
basement.
that.
What's what do you have in your basement? Like, what's going on?
Old Barbies.
Are they stashed somewhere in the basement of your house?
They're just there in a
You,
box,
you've created so
chilling in
many
a
weird
sling.
Barbies in Barbie Land.
Yeah, I have to go and check on them if they're okay now after the movie. But yeah, there were some pretty strong social aspects that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expected from the movie, like to see them or to think about them. So in some way, it was can be for everyone, even a sad movie or like a I don't know with the deeper meaning. I think everyone can take his own thing from it. I don't know. Yeah,
It it
it made me think about it
it wasn't a stupid
afterwards.
movie, you know.
No, it wasn't. Even though you may think of it like oh, everyone is wearing pink. What the hell?
Yeah,
Like such a stupid thing.
I think it's one of
Such
those don't judge a book by its cover kind of a case, you know.
yeah.
It's I I don't I didn't agree with all the messages it was trying to say, but I do think that, you know, optimistically, I don't know what the director was trying to say about with this movie, what the message was, right? But I would say
Yeah.
that I think it was trying to say, because I saw a lot of commentaries about how it's against the patriarchy and stuff, and obviously patriarchy is not right and shouldn't be the case, but a lot of people were angry because they were saying, "Oh, we live in a patriarchy," and it was trying to allude that this was a patriarchy, and blah 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 blah, right? But I think it was what it meant to say is really like patriarchy is bad for everyone. You know, it's bad for the guys and bad for men and women, and that men cannot live without women and women cannot live without men. I think that's you know there's if you really look at it from the outside, you feel, oh, it's about feminism, you know, giving women power. But I think this movie really wasn't trying to say that. It was really trying to try to give you the sense of equality between the two genders, you know?
Yeah,
Because,
because exactly the like the role of Ken
mm,
for me was even for me, I don't know if it's weird to say, but it made me think more about the role of Ken than the Barbie because the Barbie I was expecting this exactly. Like there would be a storyline where she wouldn't be just like the superficial beautiful girl or woman.
mm, The
and like
stereotypical
I
Barbie.
saw the intention like to show that she has more, she can have emotions and stuff and blah blah blah. But the character of Ken, me, the best one. Really, I wasn't even expecting them like the Kens, all of the Kens, even like I really liked it, like how they elaborated the masculinity in the movie. So for me, it wasn't just yeah, let's discover like the feminine part, blah blah blah, the motherhood, like yeah, equality everywhere in jobs and stuff. No, because even like the Ken was made, his only purpose was to complete Barbie, the the Barbie and Ken. But it's not like that in real life. We shouldn't be like the beautiful women and to have a man just to complete us. Like what? Nope. Even if we switch the roles, men would not need a woman just to complete them, to have the most beautiful one just because someone said that. Nope.
Yeah.
If she's beautiful, it's bonus for you, but you should love her and treat her equally, like you want to be treated. So I see the message you're saying.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a nice movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a very thoughtful movie, and maybe there's too much hate about it, and maybe there's something that I'm missing, you know. But for me, that's the kind of takeaway I got. That you know, it wasn't. It didn't feel like propaganda, you know. That's what I like. I think a lot of movies they try to send this message, you know, especially this like political message, and it was very political. Yes, it was very political.
Mhm.
Had a lot of social aspects to it, you know, but I think it was trying to more question a lot of things than give you the answer, you know.
Yep.
At least that's how I took it, you know, and that's always good about a movie. A movie should question a lot of your beliefs and, you know, the situation right now in the world, rather than tell you how fucked up everything is and how you are horrible, how you're a horrible human being and you should change your life. Because then that's just hypocrisy at that point. Yeah, so I like that movie a lot. I thought Ryan Gosling was amazing as always. I love that guy, amazing actor. Obviously Margot Robbie as well. Beautiful,
Yeah.
great performances from everyone. Man, great movie, and yeah, I can't wait for Oppenheimer now. Like, expectations are very high.
Oh my God. Oh my God, man.
Don't say anything.
I'm not gonna
Shut
say
up.
anything. No, no, no.
Okay.
Yeah, there was also like something I didn't like about the movie. The storyline then went pretty fast, and I don't know if exactly, like it was something, and I don't see the whole thing compact, or I don't know how to say that, because there was Barbie Land, everything was nice, blah blah blah. Then there was the transition to the normal world, and there wasn't much happening there. I expected more action or something.
Yeah.
It was
It didn't really
then it was
explore a
pretty
lot.
fast. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I didn't see it like more in a profound way or something, but that's the thing I didn't like. Then it ended. It was pretty fast in
I
this aspect, I
I
think.
did want to see more of the kind of like Barbie Land versus kind of real world kind of a thing. I wanted to see more of that, you know. Maybe see more of the real world scenes, because I think they were
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
beach,
yeah.
they were at the corporate place, at the school, and that was it, you know. And then they went
Mm-hmm.
back. So I
Not
wanted,
much of it, because
yeah,
normally if a character would search for someone and to save his existence, his life on it,
yeah,
it would like cost the character much more time, and
yeah.
she came to the normal world and
She just knew
like
exactly.
found the girl and
Yeah.
found the girl she just knew. So it was, I don't know, that was weird a bit. Like
Yeah,
felt like it was pretty fast and then it ended. So
I think they were really focused on the character development, I guess, in a way, um,
um,
and the story, the message they were trying to tell.
mhm, mhm.
Um, but yeah, overall, I would say a solid 8 out of 10, maybe even a bit more, maybe, but
Yeah, I would
solid
say
eight.
like 7.5, 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
solid 8. All right, perfect. Next topic.
Go see the Barbie movie. Put on some dress.
Yeah,
Uh,
what I would like to say is that if you are a guy, there's no shame in going to watch the Barbie movie. I went to watch the Barbie movie with my
of
friend,
course.
another guy, and we loved it. It was good. Like, you don't have to agree with everything the movie has to portray, but it's always good to do something that maybe outside of obviously, I know that it's not for me, right? The movie was not made for me, right? I know that, but doesn't mean I shouldn't watch it. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna learn something from it. So if you're a guy, there's no
No,
shame
but
in
don't
going.
say that. It wasn't made for the girls. Like,
I don't know. I
yeah, it was. Like, we played mostly with Barbies, but for example, I went with my friend who's gay. Uh, he enjoyed it
yeah.
so much. I mean, imagine like for everyone, it's everyone should give it a try, I think. Even like not in the cinema if you don't want to go to see it in the cinema, just wait when it will be somewhere like
Yeah.
I don't know if Netflix or who's gonna buy the film. Maybe like HBO or Disney, I don't know.
Mm,
Someone just wait and then watch it alone and have your own opinion on that and maybe it will make you think about something.
exactly. All right. Um.
Let's move on.
So there's one other topic. So because I don't want to go too far, I have two more topics, but let's just go to the one that I think is more interesting. I A few years ago, you were given the opportunity to go for a study exchange to Spain,
Oh.
and it was the first time you lived abroad for an extended period of time that in your adult life, and having experience in this from my studies here in the Netherlands and not living in my hometown, I wanted to ask you about your experience living outside and how you saw this maybe have an impact on your perspective on the world and life in general.
Oh, mm, yeah, it definitely taught me a lot. Because, as you say, it was my first time alone living without my parents or my boyfriend. Just me alone somewhere in the world. Like, it's not that far, it's still Europe. It
Mm.
was in Spain, but yeah, it was a few kilometers far. So I definitely had moments when I felt alone or where I didn't felt like I'm living in a dream and everything was like super nice, super fun. I had even those darker moments, but I think it's normal and it's for everyone. Like you'll have this moment when you first, or even more, like even if you're used to it and switch places, you'll have this moment like when you will feel a bit off or that something's not perfect. Like yeah, so I feel like it's part of a process. Like you are used to something. You have your, for example, I was used to that when when I have a stressful moment. For example, when I have my exam period, there's something or someone who takes care of me. For example, my boyfriend that gives me coffee or tea and is taking care of me, or just give me chocolate. My mom cooking for me, and there I was alone and I had to do everything alone. So it was like, ah, no,
Yeah.
help me, someone help me, please. So yeah, it's definitely harder, but I feel like I'm more independent and now I know that mm, I would be able to live alone. And now I miss it sometimes, even that I don't have this moments for me. Like I come home and just chill, and no one can tell me anything. Like, ah, just do the dishes, please, or ah,
Yeah.
you didn't, for example, I don't know, something. So yeah, I miss it, but it definitely was something new for me. It was hard, even like the beginnings were super hard. Because again, it was Spain, they were super slow, no stress.
Don't say that. You're gonna get
I
canceled.
was definitely stressed.
Yeah. So, sorry.
The
I want.
studying there was amazing. I learned so much stuff because studying Spanish in the Czech Republic is super weird, and there's not much contact with the
Mm,
Spanish culture. Like, yes, there is, but still you're in the Czech Republic. So having the opportunity to be abroad, to live abroad, and to be with the people there, or just seeing them how they live, or how I would live there, was super nice and gave me a lot, really. So if you have an opportunity to go abroad, just go. Don't ask anyone, just go.
so you don't regret it?
Yep, never will.
Did you? How did you feel when you went back to Czech Republic after you were able to live abroad for some time? Did you feel different?
Mm, yeah, in some way. Because I thought that everyone would be super happy to see me again and stuff like they did. They
I
were
mean, they're
happy, or
hopefully. I think they were. Hopefully.
but the start was hard because the stereotype comes back. You know, you live in a I uh, how to explain it? You live in a fairy tale somewhere, like a whole different world, and then you come back and you just have to manage like school again, the same people, same things, same professors stuff, and then even work. I had to search for some job or
Mm.
something, or I don't know. It was. I thought it would be slower, this process of like getting back, but nope. It was like I got back, unpack your things, and just live your life again. So in this,
Back to
it was
reality, kind
in
of a
this.
thing.
Yeah, back to reality, and it was weird. It was weird. It's not that I hate the reality that I live in, but you know, you expect this as in the Barbie movie, like Barbie Land and normal life, like you have at least the transition in between them, but this was without it. Like,
Yeah.
mm,
So it felt
weird.
like a bit of an escape in a way. The way you're describing it
Course,
is.
of course, and it was super nice in this aspect. Um, I had this 6 months of um, like slowing down a bit and exploring a different world. So that was nice, definitely.
It's it's interesting you say that because I feel like it's such a problem these days. Because we all want everything to be done quick and we want to become who we are so quickly, and
Yeah.
don't take any breaks. Or if you take a break, like I ask you, what did you do? What happened? Did you, did you, are you alright? Just because you took a year off, let's say. But life, I think there's a saying, life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, take some time. And when you're 20, you should explore a bit more. And I'm not trying to be like, you should do something, you should do this, do that, do that. But I do think in the society we live in right now, there's like this sense of like, oh my God, I'm too late to this, or God, I need to be quick, to get there. And sometimes, as you said, it's nice you're still growing, you're not stopping life, but it's
Yeah.
it's nice to to get out of the loop and see the world outside and grow as well, you know,
Yeah.
through that. So I mean, I guess it must have felt quite nice to have the opportunity to do that for you, right? And yeah.
It was such a nice city also, like, phew, so many tourists are there now, or even like every time, I think, and just want to explore the city and have limited time. I had 6 months, and still there was a lot to explore. So it's such a nice city, full of culture, full of really nice people, of good food, full of color. Just visit Seville. It's so nice.
All right, nice. I'm very bad at transitions, as you can see.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Um, I think we can go to the last section of this podcast, which is once again another segment of mine that I've created. So here on the podcast, we like to end the podcast with a few rapid fire questions, where you either answer the questions or pass. But if you pass, then nobody's gonna like you. And you know, depends on you if you want to answer or not. But the point is to answer quickly. All right. So,
Shit.
are you ready for this?
Hope so.
All right. So, this is gonna be very serious. It's a very serious, survey, and it's for a study for children in Afghanistan. And
Poor guy.
I don't know why I said that. Okay, let's begin. All right. So, first question. Are you ready? Are you ready? You gotta be quick. Okay. All right.
Okay.
First question.
Go.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay. Pizza
Definitely.
Pizza or pasta?
Pasta.
Oi. Pasta? Pasta?
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice just went really like high. Anyways, um, favorite Italian and Czech dish?
Uh,
So pasta.
Czech. Czech would be.
Oh, you're taking a long time.
Help me.
Uh,
Not vepřo knedlo, but
Svíčková.
the paprika, like chicken with paprika sauce and dumplings.
I've never heard that said in English, so it's so weird. Chicken with paprika sauce.
It is right. I don't
I
know.
have no idea. Probably. An Italian dish?
Italian lasagna probably.
Okay. If you could speak any other language fluently, which one would you choose?
Uh,
You're not very good at these rapid fire questions.
no, I'm not. I don't know. Help.
Why are you asking
Portuguese.
me? Portuguese?
Yeah,
You know, I
I
know.
don't like
Okay,
it, but
I know for a fact that's a lie because you said that you hate Portuguese.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Even, for example, German, but it would be nice to know it like fluently. I would complete the my line of languages I know already. So
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't know.
I love Portuguese. I love how it sounds. Okay, summer or winter?
Summer.
Summer. Okay. One place you'd love to travel next?
Portugal.
What is with Portugal? Um,
Yeah, it's affordable, right? And it's a small country,
it is
and
beautiful. It is beautiful. I gotta say.
so I want to go
And it's also
as soon
close
as
to
possible.
Spain, so you've been to Spain, so you kind of get that idea. Anyways, guys, this is a segment where we ask quick questions. Okay, next one.
And I'm not good at it.
Your favorite Italian word or phrase?
Listen, if I would have that favorite phrase or word, I would already have it tattooed somewhere on my body. So I'm searching for that word or phrase.
One thing you miss the most about living in Spain during your study exchange?
Wait, what do I miss about Spain?
One thing you miss.
Climate.
Okay. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Invisibility.
Same, yeah. And the last one, and you can think about this one a bit longer. If you could meet yourself 10 years ago today, what advice would you give yourself, having the power of hindsight and the knowledge of all the things that have happened to you in your life since then?
Trust yourself and trust the process.
Trust the process. That's good advice. All right, thank you so much, Sarka. It was great talking to you. And again, thank you so much for making the time to do this, and also speaking in a language that you don't feel very comfortable in. But I assure you, you did really well, and I had a great talk.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and also, yeah, it was a nice talk. Like, we normally talk about these things as friends in Czech, but it was nice to do so, like, officially in a podcast. So hopefully someone will enjoy listening or watching, I don't know. But yeah, I hope it was good and it wasn't totally chaotic.
You were great.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Kisses. Bye-bye. Ciao. Ahoj. Adios.